Okay, so I talked about this a little bit in my video that Chris and I one wish for Philly sports in 2022 video. So when I said in that video, one of my main wishes for the Sixers to get everything organized and together. Now I feel like the more I think about it, I mean, it's not going to be an overnight thing. Okay, let's put it that way. It's not going to be an overnight fix for the Sixers, but there are some things they can do going forward to get this mess organized. One of the things they gotta honestly reconsider Doc Rivers as their coach. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Some of you may think it's ludicrous, but I think a lot of people are starting to realize now that Doc Rivers is overrated as a coach. And he has throughout his coaching career gotten in confrontations and beefs with players throughout his coaching career. And one thing that's a trend consistent throughout life is if there's always trouble everywhere you go and you're the common denominator, you're part of the problem. And even back in Boston, when you had Ray Allen and Rajon Rondo beef, they both got into it with Doc Rivers there. And he's even gotten into it Paul George a little bit at the end of his run with the Clippers. And he's gone to Ben Simmons. Now, Ben Simmons, we know he's a whole nother story. But the common trend throughout all this is that anywhere Doc Rivers goes, there's always some issues between him and players. So one of the problems is Doc Rivers' coaching style. I mean, I used to think the comparisons with him and Mike McCarthy were ridiculous, but the more I think about it, Doc Rivers is really that coach who's been carried by high-end talent most of his career. And the reason Doc Rivers has so many wins as a coach, let's face it, is because he's coached for so many years. He's been coaching for over 20 years. That's why he has so many wins as a career coach. So the people want to point Doc Rivers and talk about, oh, well, he has this many wins as a coach. Yeah, but let's not forget, how many years has he been coaching now? Over 20 years. Of course, he's got over 1,000 wins as a coach. All those years, all those games. And looking at what we're doing this year, we could have been in the same position with Brett Brown as our coach, for crying out loud. And some of the decisions he's made, like last week, there was the game he didn't play Tyrese Maxey, and we were losing games to teams with depleted rosters. Like we lost to the Miami Heat without Bam and Jimmy. We lost to the Grizzlies without Ja Morant. I mean, we did beat the Wizards on Sunday without Bradley Beal, but that doesn't really mean much because based on the way we've been playing against some of these teams with depleted rosters, we could have lost to the Wizards, but somehow we were able to get the win. And Embiid shined in that game and helped carry us to victory. So one of the things you got to do going forward, because yet Embiid dropped over 40 last week against the Celtics in a win. He dropped over 30 against the Wizards and helped carry the team on Sunday. So you got to keep Joel Embiid. You got to keep him around and keep him satisfied and make him want to stay with this team. One thing you got to do. But even then, there's the worry that he's going to get hurt again. As great as Joel Embiid is when he's healthy, the injuries is the one problem we've had with him. We want to keep him around. We want to keep him healthy, which is definitely something. We definitely want to keep him around, keep him happy. Something else we want to do, want to keep Tyrese Maxey around, make him our number 2 guy for sure. You see the way he's playing this year in only his second year. He's the real number 2 star of this team. So you got to keep Tyrese happy. You got to keep him on this roster to build up going forward. And some of these other pieces you got to get rid of, okay? Let's face it, because some of these guys, look, I mean, Seth Curry's playing solid, but he's not the long-term guy. Why do you, he's not, with all due respect to Seth, he's not his brother. He's a guy who's bounced around from team to team with Seth Curry. So, eventually, even though he's playing good this year, he's not a long-term piece. He's never been a long-term piece for a team. So, you're going to have to eventually find somebody else there to fill those shoes in the long term. And Tobias Harris, he started to play. His game's gone down this year. I mean, he still played decent at times. He still plays solid here and there, but Tobias is not playing as good as he was last year. Then again, he's another guy that I feel like was a short-term guy. And he's always been throughout his career. And now he's a guy that we could move on from him possibly sometime in the future. But obviously, the biggest thing we need to do, most of all, is we need to get a trade for Ben Simmons. Now, I've heard some of the trade rumors, and some fans even on Twitter have tried to suggest, get rid of Ben Simmons and get Russell Westbrook, which I'm going to say, stop it. Stop. All right? Stop the madness. All right? No, don't get Russell Westbrook. Are you crazy? Think about it. Yeah, Russell Westbrook's a great player. He's a great triple-double player. But come on, think about it. He's bounced around from team to team to team to team. And you can say, well, he requested a trade from the Wizards to the Lakers. Yes, that's true, but the Wizards weren't exactly in a hurry, weren't exactly taking their time pulling a deal now, were they? They were quick to agree to a trade when Westbrook wanted one. They weren't exactly buying their time trying to keep Russell Westbrook on their team now, were they? Exactly. So that's and plus the Rockets got rid of him. I mean, the Thunder got rid of him after a while. Yeah, he may be a great player, but he's a terrible teammate. And already things aren't working out with him on the Lakers. He's already a terrible fit there. So the common factor with Russell Westbrook is he's not a good fit. So you're basically getting rid of one problem and bringing in another problem. So that's why I say stop it with the whole Ben Simmons, Russell Westbrook trade. Just think about it for a second. Think about Russell Westbrook's character and personality in the locker room. Anywhere he goes, you know it's going to bring trouble to the locker room, as great as a player as he may be. So you don't want that right there. Now, there's the possible scenario you could try to trade him to the Cavs. We, in return, get Lauri Markkanen, Colin Sexton, Isaac Okoro, and we could get a few first-round picks. Maybe that could work if we could agree to it. Colin Sexton would be a nice piece to have. So maybe that could work. But then again, here's the thing with that. Do you really? Then again, at the same time, you got to realize with Doc Rivers' coaching style, the way he's been coaching this team this year, what makes you think that his coaching style is going to translate over well? If his coaching style throughout his career has butted head with other players, what makes you think that's not going to butt heads with other players the Sixers could bring in possible trade scenarios at the deadline? So even if we do make some moves, like maybe bringing a Colin Sexton, or we pull off some deal, involving a few picks, a few bench guys, and D'Angelo Russell, Ben Simmons with the Minnesota Timberwolves, what makes you think that Doc Rivers' coaching style couldn't cause problems, possibly with a D'Angelo Russell in exchange for Ben Simmons of the Timberwolves, or possibly Colin Sexton in exchange for, Ben Simmons of the Cavs, or whatever the case may be? What makes you think there won't be clashes there? So even then, I still think Doc Rivers' coaching style is one of the biggest problems on this team. Obviously, Ben Simmons still being on the roster is a big problem. Obviously, we do need some more bench guys going forward because Tobias Harris is falling off. Seth Curry, well, he's playing solid, well, he's playing decent so far, but he's never been a long-term guy. And yet, Korkmaz is garbage. Forget him. Just get him off this team. Okay, Isaiah Joe, I'll give Isaiah Joe a little more time and see what he goes going for. See how much he develops go for it. I'll give Isaiah Joe a little bit more time. But some of these bench pieces, like I say, they're not long-term guys, or they're just garbage, or they're not helping out. They're causing problems in the locker room. Whatever the case may be, some of them can go. And Doc Rivers' coaching style, it's not really helping out that much, is it? Obviously, you can see this year when they need to rely on the coach more than they do their talent to help them, it's not working out now, is it? So some things, they got to probably consider making a change at coaching going forward. I mean, I'll make another video getting more in depth about that. But here, just wanted to come on here, give a couple quick thoughts on what I think some solutions the Sixers could do. And you guys can let me know in the comment section there watching some of the things you think the Sixers could do, some possible trades they could pull off, possible coach they could find for Doc Rivers' replacement. You guys let me know what you think the Sixers should do to fix some of their problems. Be glad to hear what you guys say. Also, feel free to give this video a like, share, and subscribe if you're new. It's Nicky C signing off. Hope you enjoyed. Have a wonderful night or day, and I'll see you guys next time.